Welcome to New Orleans Public Library's Virtual Storytime. I'm Carmine, the Children's Librarian at Algiers Regional, and I'm glad you could join us today. I'll be sharing a traditional winter story from Germany, and we'll be doing some songs and rhymes. We're going to sing Hello, Hello twice through, so if you don't already know it, feel free to join in on the second round. It goes like this. Hello, 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 how are you? I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. Hello, 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 how are you? I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. Give yourself. Next we're going to do a very old nursery rhyme called This is the Boat. So go ahead and cup your hands together like this, like it's the hull of a boat. There's a lot of gestures in this rhyme, but we're going to do it 2 times through, so it'll give you a chance to practice. Okay, go ahead and cup your hands. This is the boat, the golden boat that sails on the silvery sea. And these are the oars of ivory white that lift and dip, lift and dip. These are the 10 little ferrymen running along to take the oars of ivory white that lift and dip, that move the boat, the golden boat, over the silvery sea. Here is the moon so big and round that shines on the boat that is homeward bound, back to the harbor safe and sound from its sail on the silver sea. All right, shall we try that one more time? Did you make your boat? All right. Here is the boat, the golden boat that sails on the silvery sea. And here are the oars of ivory white that lift and dip, lift and dip. Here are the 10 little ferrymen running along to take the oars of ivory white that lift and dip, that move the boat, the golden boat, over the silvery sea. Here is the moon so big and round that shines on the boat that is homeward bound, back to the harbor safe and sound from its sail on the silver sea. The Legend of the Silver Pinecones, a tale from Germany. Once upon a time, and long ago, there lived a poor family who had fallen on hard times. It was wintertime, snow was on the ground, and they found themselves without enough food to eat or wood for their fire. The mother decided that she would go into the forest to search for pine cones. These would burn brightly, if only for a short time, and provide some warmth for her family. So she wrapped her tattered shawl around her shoulders, picked up a large basket, and set off to the forest. As she walked along, she dreamed that perhaps she might find enough to be able to sell a few of the pine cones at the marketplace, and maybe make a little money to buy some food, too. After hours of walking through snow-covered fields, the woman at last reached the forest. She pushed away the snow on the ground with her feet, searching around for pine cones half buried in the snow. And after a good hour of working, her hands were numb with cold, but at last her basket was filled to the brim. When suddenly, from behind her came a very loud noise. "Buy my boots and buy my beard! Why are you stealing my pine cones?" The woman looked around. "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know these were your pine cones." And she started to take them back out of her basket and put them on the ground. I only took them because my family's cold and hungry," the woman explained. "The pine cones would warm us in the fire, and I thought I might be able to sell a few and buy a bit of bread for my children." "Well," said the elf with a crooked little smile and a nod of his cap, "in that case, you should go into the next forest. The pine cones over there are much better." And poof! He disappeared as quickly as he had come. The woman was cold and tired, but the elf had spoken so assuredly that she dumped out her basket of pine cones and set off to walk to the next forest. It took a very long time to reach the other forest, and when she got there, she was so tired that she set her basket down on the ground for a moment just to rest. But no sooner had she set her basket down when pine cones rained down from the trees all around her, as if by some strange magic. And she very quickly, within a matter of minutes, gathered up enough pine cones to fill her basket to the brim. Oh, how happy everyone will be at home tonight, she thought, and filled with renewed hope and energy, she made her way home as the sun was just beginning to set. As she walked along, her basket seemed to grow heavier and heavier with each step, and she felt like her strength was giving out from her long walk in the cold. As she reached her cottage door, she set her basket down and opened the door, where her children ran to her and gave her warm hugs. When she looked back down at her basket of pine cones, she found that each pine cone had been turned to pure silver. The family rejoiced, and the woman told them about meeting the strange little elf in the forest, and they all agreed it must have been his magic and his kindness that had turned the pine cones to silver. With the money she made from selling just one silver pine cone, the woman was able to buy all the food her family needed for winter, and they still had many, many pine cones left for the coming years. And because of her careful savings, her family was never hungry or cold ever again. And because of this legend, some people believe that it is lucky to have a silver pine cone in your house, and it's customary to keep one on your dresser or near your hearth to make sure that good fortune comes your way. You can extend this story at home by making your own lucky silver pine cone. I found this pine cone in my neighborhood and painted it silver, but you could use glue and glitter if that's what you have at home. I also made a couple of lucky little helpful elves here that you can make in your house and do good deeds and pretend it's the elves. All I took was a wooden bead and I twisted around a pipe cleaner to make it fit, and I added some felt clothing, but you could use construction paper or fabric scraps or whatever you have on hand to make your helpful little elf. Okay, well, let's warm back up after such a chilly tale by drinking some hot tea. You can make yours hot chocolate or hot coffee or whatever your favorite warm beverage is. To do this rhyme, we're going to make a couple of cups, and then we're also going to make a teapot. This is the spout of our teapot where we're going to pour out of. And it goes like this. Here is a cup, and here is a cup, and here is a pot of tea. Let's pour a cup, and pour a cup, and sit and sip with me. One more time. Here is a cup, and here is a cup. Here is a pot of tea. Let's pour a cup, and pour a cup, and sit and sip with me. I want to tell you about 5 other favorites for winter, and you can place these on hold for pickup at your local branch. The Elves and the Shoemaker, the classical tale by the Brothers Grimm, illustrated here by Jim LaMarche, about a poor shoemaker who gets some secret help from some elves who sneak into his workshop at night. Little Sister and the Month Brothers. This one is a classic Slavic tale with Cinderella elements. There's a wicked stepmother and stepsister who send little sister out in the dead of winter to bring them back some violets. A seemingly impossible task until she meets 12 mysterious men named the Month Brothers. We don't often think of Little Red Riding Hood as a winter tale, but Jerry Pinkney has set this version of Little Red Riding Hood in a winter wonderland where Little Red stops to gather kindling to take to her grandmother on the other side of the woods. It's beautifully illustrated. In the story blanket, in this village there's a woman, Baba Zara, who has a large blanket she puts down and the children sit on it and hear stories. But she starts to notice that some of them don't have very much warm clothing and winter is coming. And the children notice that the blanket seems to be getting smaller and smaller, and yet mysteriously they have been finding hats and scarves and mittens at the same time. And last but not least, Rabbit's Gift. This is a traditional story from China that shows a group of animals looking for food in the wintertime, and though they don't have very much, they do have generosity in abundance. And this version is told by George Shannon. And you can come pick those up at your local library. If you'd like to try watching some popular children's picture books, remember you can access Canopy Kids for free with your New Orleans Public Library card. There you can find a long list of favorites, old and new, including these wintry classics, The Snowy Day and Brave Irene. Grown-ups, one factor that predicts academic success for children is having books of their own at home. You can help by giving books as gifts to the children you know to help them build a library of their own. It is time to say goodbye to our friends. Yes, it's time to say goodbye to our friends. It's time to say goodbye. Nod your head, wink your eye. Yes, it's time to say goodbye to our friends. Goodbye. See you soon. That is all we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, you can find all of our virtual programming at nolalibrary.org. Hope to see you soon. Bye.